Hi friends, welcome back to playing tribute to Ace Attorney Investigations. Last case of the game, where we have run into a little bit of an issue. Our suspect is a bit above the law, so I guess our job for this part is to try to figure out how to make sure that he is brought to justice. It seems impossible. I'm curious as to what we're going to be doing. So, well, without further ado, let's bring this guy to justice. I can't believe it, sir. Extraterritoriality. Yes, and there's nothing we can really do about that. In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice. I can't believe that even though we know he's the boss, we can't lay a finger on him. I know. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sorry to skip out on you, but I've got some business to take care of. You're just gonna... okay. If we can't even give an evil guy like him a slap on the wrist, then what the heck are laws created for? What good are they? If the law can't help us, then I'll go as the Yatagarasu and take care of this myself. Don't you dare. Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, that was a bit too harsh. I know how you feel, sir. We're trying to take on an ambassador after all. And he did tell us earlier to get out of the theater. This is kind of their country, I guess. But I feel like I've been slapped across the face for just doing my job. What am I going to do? Should I retreat for now and formulate a better plan of attack? Come on, everyone! We can't give up yet. Okay. I want you to think about something for a sec. We've never let up for even a second, and as long as we don't stop investigating, we might find the rotten treasure hidden here. She's right! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth! You're right, Kay. Very well. Let's reopen the investigation and see what we find. Come on, Kay. Right behind you! Okay, then I'll go check out Babal a bit more, sir. And I have something that I need to investigate further in Alabast. So what does that leave us? The theater? Now then. Before I gather any more information, I should do a bit of housekeeping. Ah, yes. Oh, just the passion flowers thing? Alright. I guess we should, Ambassador Alba seemed agitated over something. Okay, we're gonna do a bunch of logic. He didn't want us to investigate. I wonder why. Okay. Right, he was claiming self-defense. That's right. There are two special circumstances that surround the ambassador. First, the embassy itself has extraterritorial rights. If something happens on Alabastian soil, we're unable to legally prosecute it. Cool! Sounds like embassies are a perfect place to steal whatever you want. And to murder Damask II, to run a smuggling operation, and to make counterfeit bills, apparently. But I thought all the counterfeiting was done by Mr. Cochin in Babal. Yes, he apparently used the embassy's coupon printing press to do it. Didn't I have another logic thing in there somewhere? I guess we'll find out at the culmination of this. But it's the same story over there anyway. Babal also has extraterritorial rights. Which brings me to my next point. The ambassador's extraterritorial rights. Those rights are effective even in our own country. Really? No matter what happens, he can never be tried in our courts. He retains some very special rights indeed. Basically, no matter what wrongs he may commit, we can't bring him to trial here. So I guess we really don't stand a chance, do we? We might stand a chance if we can somehow nullify either one of his special rights. The extraterritoriality and the extraterritoriality. Oh, the renovations are still there. Okay. Okay. This was taken just before the two ambassadors gave the bouquets to the Steel Samurai. Oh, wait, is it just my imagination? Oh my goodness, do you see what I see? Or is there something in this picture that I've seen before? I won't rest until I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Can I deduce? Or do I just examine for now? I guess I just examine for now. It appears to be a bouquet of Persian's cyclamens and roses. Wow, you even know the exact species? I never would have figured you for an expert on flowers. It's all because of those flowers that old lady sends me every month. Oh my gosh! Wendy Oldbag has been sending her flowers. Just look at me, I sound like some sort of botanist. What exactly is this yellow flower here? There's one. I'm not sure. What? You don't know? As far as I can recall, I've never seen a flower like this before. But I feel as though I've seen this shape somewhere before. I've been waiting to use this somewhere. Eureka! What? I'm sorry, what? That seriously looks like that guitar pick. Or the... whatever. Is it the flower on the key? I don't... Oh, wait. Oh. Wait. That's off there, too. There's only 4 petals. The ball's national symbol is the butterfly, and alabasters is the flower. Yeah, okay, that guitar pick is definitely part of that flower, though, because look at the shape. It's the same shape. It would appear that someone is employing the old hide a tree in the forest trick. What are you mumbling to yourself about? Oh, are we saying that that's the knife? Oh, I see. Okay, I thought that gold around it was part of it, but it's other flowers. So the knife is actually stabbed into the bouquet. In front of golden flowers and behind the red flower. Wait, why did the handle on this knife? Ah! Yes. It's the handle that was supposed to be in the blade that killed Mr. Cochin. The weapon that killed him was carried through the theatrical chalice. In the very bouquet Ambassador Alba was carrying. That's important. The flower motif. Oops, not that one. Ah! It looks like one of the flower petals is missing. Yes. And take a look at the weapon itself. It's missing the exact same petal. And the knife in this photo is most definitely the same as the murder weapon. Okay, so it is missing a petal. And it's not supposed to be missing a petal. Okay, what else is happening here? It seems that lilies are the center of this bouquet, with an accent of chamomile. Wow, I can totally smell the wonderful fragrance. Okay, this is just a picture. I know that! But it's nice to imagine things once in a while, you know. Where's your sense of empathy? If you can smell the fragrance of flowers from a photo, that's more like a hallucination. You don't have to be mean about it. Let's just drop this before it's in full bloom. Oh my gosh, Larry. With the bunny ears. There's that troublemaker standing there smack in the center making 2 peace signs. Wow, the Steel Samurai stands out even more than the 2 ambassadors in this picture. Oh hey, the person playing the Steel Samurai is one of your friends, right? No, I have no idea who he is. Wait, but you just said he! You knew which gender he was, so you must know him, right? I beg that you please refrain from talking about that person with me ever again. I can't believe he was pretending to be a harmless old grandpa. Talk about deceptive. I don't suppose anyone expected him to change that drastically. I bet he's thinking of something evil behind that cheery smile. Okay, please try to remain calm and focused on the here and now. Yeah, you're right. Sorry I got all worked up there. Well, the only way we're going to be able to steal the truth is if we keep on investigating. Mr. Polino has a really great smile, don't you think? Bet he was really happy that they were going to become Codopia again. Perhaps, but instead he became the greatest victim in today's case. An ambassador like him, who's always thinking of his country, is really to be admired. Yeah, although this happened, I hope they'll be able to reunite the country someday. I hope so as well, but for that to happen, we need to solve this case first. We need to see to it that those who would harm the new Codopia are locked away. And we will! Okay, I think that's really all that I can look at here. I'm gonna double check and make sure. Yeah, okay. I think that the knife being in the picture was the most important part there. Okay. Flowers were sent by a variety of people and businesses to celebrate the goodwill event. Even the Soul Samurai received some flowers from the ambassadors. There's so many bouquets here, it's like a wedding ceremony. I believe the flowers for those are for a slightly different reason. What do you mean? This event was supposed to be like a wedding between Alabas and Babal, right? Actually, I believe they're more in a state of divorce. Okay then, this event was supposed to be their remarriage ceremony. I suppose you could call it that. Oh, what's this? It's the backdrop they used from the Steel Samurai stage show today. I love the climax of that show. Steel Samurai Sushi Slice! That was the first time I'd seen that special move. But, well, the Jammin' Ninja stage show's climax was much better, of course. Oh, is that a fact? That scene where he sang for Princess Misola and gave her those hair sticks? I could totally feel the love there in my heart. Perhaps the Jammin' Ninja is just more popular with female audiences. Walking around. Walking around. Okay, what's this? Do we say anything about the VCR? No? No? Oh, wait. Oh. What was that? Mistman from flowers. These flowers were sent by Global Studios. Global Studios? That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They've been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio's being remodeled. Oh, I read about that in the papers the other day. That mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, right? What's its name? Mr. Monkey? Oh, Mrs. Monkey. You mean Mrs. Monkey? Yeah, I thought it was something like that. You really have a great memory. I never underestimate my powers for recollection. Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Embassy of Babal. I'm sorry, but I don't really need to enter your country at the time. Right now, for a limited time here at the Babalese Embassy, we're offering the very special experience, the terrifying Fire's Ashes Tour. So how about it? Shall I sign you up? We're fine, thanks. We have an investigation to run. That guy's probably gonna say stuff. Am I gonna have to go into logic? I might have to go into logic. On the orders of Ambassador Alba, no one is allowed into Alabast. But I thought a lady with a whip passed through here not long ago. She is from Interpol and had the proper paperwork. So while I was reluctant, I had to let her in. Sounds like Francisco, alright. Besides, if I didn't, that whip of hers. Yep, definitely Francisco. Okay, well then. There's only 3 pieces here. There's something that Alba doesn't want us to investigate. These both have to do with Babalese Embassy. So does that mean they link? I feel like that's a really thin link, but I don't know what else to do. I don't think it's the 2 new ones. Okay. We know that the counterfeit bills were printed using the embassy's press, but the necessary materials, such as the Babalese ink and paper, must have been hidden in a secure location. But what do you think would have happened if the renovation had begun? Well, he probably had to find a better hiding place or get rid of it all. Right, so we can assume that the renovation was the cause of the plate and bills disposal, and the reason Mr. Cochin was killed as the ringleader of the smuggling operation. Based on what we know, who do you think was the one with the most to gain? Alba. Right? That's the point. is the one person who has been erasing all the evidence of the smuggling operation from both embassies, the co-conspirator who's mopping up Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Alba had a very strong motive to kill Manny Cochin. Alba could conveniently place all the guilt for the smuggling onto Cochin. Right, because he has been saying that. He's like, oh hey, Manny is the one in charge here. So of course, he doesn't want us to investigate and find out that he was the murderer. The cause of Ambassador Alba's agitation, the rotten treasure we may find, and the motive for killing Mr. Cochin. Miss Yu said it herself that she didn't kill anyone tonight. If we were to take her words at face value, then the reason for the ambassador's nervousness can only be one thing. He didn't want us to discover the real circumstances under which Mr. Cochin was killed. Then you mean Ambassador Alba is the real killer. But I thought the two of them were friends. Maybe they were, but if Mr. Cochin was the one who first betrayed their friendship... Oh, I get it! Wasn't Mr. Cochin pushing really hard for Mr. Poleno to be ambassador after the reunification? Yes. And that was the real reason why he wanted to steal Alabaster's Prima Duck statue. So Mr. Cochin hired Damask II to go steal for him. But when Ambassador Alba found out what he was up to, he killed Mr. Cochin? Which is definitely a possibility at this point. Those two really were thinking of no one but themselves. But the question now is, how did he do it? Ambassador Alba was in Alabast, but Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babal, right? Right. And that is what we must solve next. I believe we now understand why Ambassador Alba was so nervous and agitated. It must have something to do with where Mr. Cochin was killed. A place where the Alabastian ambassador was likely to meet the Babalese Mr. Cochin. The neutral area.
Take that!
The only place that makes sense here is here at the Atrium Neutralis. I was saying that fine, the rest of the parts here. What? Here? The Goodwill event was being held here today, correct? So the only place that both of them would have been is in here. But if that's the case, then everything changes. This theater isn't exactly Alabastian land, so that wipes out one of those extraterritorial rights he has. Which makes logical sense, in which case it is a reason for us to investigate. So what should we check out? Let's see. I believe we should check the immigration records for both Alabast and Babal post-haste. Babal's record should be as easy to obtain, however the problem will be Alabast. I wonder if they would allow us to see their records despite the order to vacate.
Objection!
Oh, hi. Francisco, good to see you. I'm already one step ahead of you, Miles Edgeworth. Francisco. I have here the security footage from both Alabast and Babal. You would do well to take a look at its contents. Thank you. You move fast. There's Alba. There's the Steel Samurai and the Iron Infant. I don't know why this one's important, but okay. Does anything change? Von Karma strives to be perfect in every way. It's not in my nature to keep on retreating like this. I took the liberty of looking over the Babal investigation reports as well. From now on, you will make no excuse to back down or say that we can't solve this case. I'm sorry about earlier. We won't be beaten. Because my cute little subordinate is going to try his very best, isn't he? Relationship patronized me enough already for the lifetime. So this video contains footage from Alabast's immigration screening area. I really hope there's something in here that we can use. You and me both, Kay. You and me both. Yep. There's the bent samurai spear. Okay. That's why I kept looking through it. So what did I want to... Okay, so there's this, which is empty. Then there's Alba, but nothing seems to be different. I am still really suspicious about the whole samurai maybe carrying something and the Iron Infant disappearing. Can we... Doesn't something about this lump's shape strike you as odd? I mean, yeah. Isn't that supposed to be this shape? No, there's clearly something odd about the bulge. If only we had the push cart itself and we could compare and confirm my hunch. Next, let us check the footage from the Babal's security camera. Okay, I guess that's all I needed to find there. So, Steel Samurai pushed this to Alabaster from the dressing room. The bulge is unnatural. Is it... It couldn't be Cochin, because Cochin was found in Babal. So it's not like he was pushing the body. I hope it shows us something good. Phooey, there wasn't a single sign of a suspicious person or anything. That's right there. Is the contradiction. Huh? Did I miss something? You didn't miss anything. Because there was nothing to miss. However, what is missing is the image of Mr. Cochin entering his own country. But wasn't his body found in Babal? It would appear that the true face of our final puzzle has finally revealed itself. So, did the Steel Samurai push him into Babal too? Doesn't make any sense. That sounds like Lang's men, but I have a feeling it's the Ambassador's men. Yeah. Ambassador Alba. I thought I had asked for you and your group to vacate the premises, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I thought I should let you know that this theater sits in my country's soil. You've had your fun, and I've enjoyed our little game. I dare say that you've even achieved a new high score. However, once you've recorded a score, the same game can never be replayed again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Your game is done, and it's game over. No. Objection! Where do you think you're going at this time of night? After admitting to my crime, I was overcome with regret. So I'm heading to the airport now to return home. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. There are still too many issues we need to discuss with you. You can't stop me, Mr. Edgeworth, and you know it. Oh. Please, may I have a little bit of your time, Ambassador Alba? Ambassador Palato. Even just a teeny tiny bit is fine with me. The already strained relationship between our countries is in a precarious situation, you know. Very well. If you insist. I will play just one more round with them and see what they want. Not that they are get any farther. Ambassador Polano. Mr. Edgeworth. All I wish is for the normalization of relationships between our two countries. But there is one person standing in the way of that dream. I believe in you. You'll do what's right. Thank you for your vote of confidence. Oh boy. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask me about? I do have a flight to catch, after all. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to limit you to just one question. That's more than enough, because I only have one question anyway. I want to hear your alibi about how you couldn't have killed Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, I see. You seem to have a good hand this time around. This should be fun. This really is the very last chance we have to bring him down. I won't allow even an atom-sized contradiction to slip by. Alright. This is gonna be tough.
Frankly, I still don't understand why I'm being placed under suspicion here. Under your hypothetical scenario, Mr. Cochin and I were fellow smugglers. But to get to the point, I was in Alabas the whole time. So it's simply not possible for me to have killed him in Babal. That is my alibi.
So that is your alibi?
That is correct. It's simply not possible for me to have committed a crime in Babal. Now that we're clear that up, I appreciate it if you would move out of my way.
Hold it!
I said, hold it.
What is it this time? I thought I told you I only allow one question.
You did. But you still have yet to really answer my one question.
What?
Until you tell us the truth, I will refuse to budge an inch from where I'm standing.
Very well. I'll play with you just a little longer.
Miles Edgeworth as my subordinate and representative of this country's prosecutors. You are forbidden to lose.
Of course, and that is something I've understood from the start.
That guy's the one who ordered my father killed, isn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
The goal of the first Yatagarasu was the capture of the smuggling ring's leader. My father and Uncle Bad, their legacy will live on. Through me. So that's why we've just got to catch him, okay?
He will, I promise.
Now, Ambassador Alba, let's have the truth now, shall we?
No matter how many times you ask, my answer remains the same.
Hold it!
It's not a hypothesis.
Earlier we proved it to be what happened.
Well, let's leave that one aside for now.
Leave that to one side for now, sorry.
Because it doesn't change the fact that I have no motive.
Oh, so you really had no reason to kill Mr. Cochin?
If you want to suppose I had one, then why not? I'll indulge. After all, this is nothing more than a silly game to me.
Even if that's how you see things, I'd appreciate it if you were to take me seriously. I love the irony of the situation of how it's a game to him, but it's also a game to us!
I'm sorry. I suppose you are in a bit of a pickle. Very well. A game is no fun if the playing field isn't level. Therefore, I formally claim that I had no motive to kill. Now, let's see you disprove it.
How could he stand there looking so proud when he knows he killed another human being? Well, I'm not going to stand by and watch him get away with his crimes.
Hold it!
Are you serious that just because you were partners, that you had no motive to kill?
I'm only following your hypothetical scenario to its logical conclusion.
Looks like he's not going to admit to himself that he was in leagues with Mr. Cochin. I suppose not. Or admit it himself that he was. But I do know his relation to the smuggling ring and to Mr. Cochin. You mean he's the ringleader and that Mr. Cochin was his subordinate, right? Correct. But I know more than just that. Miss Von Karma, I'm sure you remember the safe in Mr. Cochin's office, correct? Yes. The safe had 2 compartments to it, didn't it? Yes, and why do you think those stolen goods were being stored in Mr. Cochin's office? Could it be because he was trying to cheat Ambassador Alba behind his back? So Mr. Cochin didn't turn the goods over, but decided instead to keep them for himself. I suppose that's possible. It seems to me that both men were only concerned with their own wealth and well-being. Then that means that maybe they didn't have a trusting relationship after all. But Ambassador Alba had to gain. I believe that is his motive for killing Mr. Cochin.
What are you people whispering about amongst yourselves over there?
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Now then, let's continue with your testimony.
Hold it!
And what exactly did you do while you were in Alabast?
I had a meeting with the Steel Samurai, and then I arranged a few files. Around that time, that thief who was sneaking in took me by surprise.
Objection!
Are you saying that it was Damas II that made the first move?
Yes, and it was after I attacked that I hit him on the head with the prima duck statue. After I was attacked. Wow. The words are important to read. Unfortunately, he died from the blow, but it was an act of justified self-defense.
Objection!
Calling it that doesn't cover up what you really did. Cover up? No, my boy, I'm not covering up anything. I'm telling the truth. You weren't planning to admit it, which is why you tried to frame the Steel Samurai. If you weren't an ambassador, I'd be letting my whip fly loose on you right now. I'm terribly sorry that I didn't clean up the body better, but I am a busy man. I had a speech to give in the Rose Garden after that, you know.
Objection!
Yet despite that, you still had time to kill Mr. Cochin, didn't you?
Objection!
Ooh, that was exciting! Man is evil, and I'm sure you are familiar with the facts, but Mr. Cochin was killed in Babal while I was all the way in Alabast. Simply not possible for me to have killed him in Babal.
Hold it!
You insist that it's not possible for you to have killed Mr. Cochin in Babal, and you are correct. Oh, I thought you would put up a bit more of a fight, but if you must concede to me, the only thing I'm conceding is that it's not possible for you to kill him in Babal. I'm not conceding that your alibi is the truth. Oh, I see. However, no matter how you try, know that you can't crush my alibi. You'll be wise not to underestimate a prosecutor of this country. And we'll see about that. Mr. Cochin was a friend of Ambassador Alba. If that's true, then why did the ambassador kill him? It's not like in the case of my father, where he ordered someone to do it. The problem we have here is we don't know what their exact relationship was. Indeed, if they had a complete trust in each other, then there's no motive for murder. However, both men were very selfish, and I believe that's from where this motive arises. Okay. So it wants me to... It wants me to talk about him not trusting him. But I don't have the, because I was in the statue. I don't have, like, the stuff from the safe, though. So I don't know what it wants me to...
Hold it!
Let's press everything. I haven't pressed everything. Being the leader of a smuggling ring while taking on the duties of ambassadorship. Don't you think that the combination is more than enough reason for suspicion? Then there's the matter of the crossbow arrows and the prima duck statues. Oh, that is nothing more than your flight of fancy. What do you mean by that? Okay.
Hold it!
What happened? No reason to kill. What motive to kill the co-conspirator? He was a part of the moving of the statues because it had the thing in it. So that's not helpful either. This part, this isn't helpful. Oh wait, no, wait. It is helpful because it was after that switcheroo that Manny, or that he would have stolen the Prima Duck statue.
Objection!
So he would have been stealing the fake one. If you want to know, I believe you did have a motive to kill. It was because Mr. Cochin had betrayed you. But you had your own reason too, namely you wanted to pin the smuggling all on him. Evil begets evil, and because you were trying to test each other, it turned into this mess.
Objection!
I don't believe this. You have a bad chance of telling tall tales, Mr. Prosecutor. Penchant. And if you're not, then I suppose you have some proof to support your argument. I never use guesswork in moving my cases forward. Leave that to Phoenix Wright, right? It has been proven that this note was written by Mr. Cochin's hand. Shall we take a look at it?
content of this note is a request calling for the theft of the alabaster Supreme Duck statue. By killing him and pushing all of the guilt for the smuggling onto him, you walk away spotless. I believe you understand what I'm driving at. You had more than a few reasons to kill him.
Objection!
Are you finished with your hypothesizing? Excuse me?
Let's suppose I did have a motive. Even so, a motive or a thought alone can't kill.
Isn't that right? I didn't expect him to resort to playing semantics game with me. It appears that this is where the real battle will begin.
Now then, if you will excuse me.
Wait, what?
I told you at the very beginning, didn't I? You only get one question. Ambassador Alba, if you could please give us just a little bit more of your time. It doesn't matter what kind of man he was my subordinate. Which is why I would like for us to figure out the real cause of his death. That is something for you all to figure out, and something for which I have no relation to.
Now he's even turning down a request from Ambassador Polano.
I'm very sorry, but it seems that now even my voice falls on deaf ears.
There's no need for you to apologize, Ambassador Polano. We must find some way to stop him from leaving.
It seems there are no further objections. In that case, please allow me to return home.
Hold it right there, Ambassador Alba. Okay. Like I said, Mr. Edgeworth, Yatagarasu's legacy will live on through me. Yes, but how do you suggest we stop him from leaving?
You just leave that to me.
Ambassador Alba, do you recognize this?
No, and why should I recognize... Oh, I'm speaking in Edgeworth's voice, I'm sorry. No, and why should I recognize that tattered old organizer?
Where have I seen that before? That is the clue that my father, Byrne Faraday, left for us.
Did you say Burton Faraday?
Mr. Faraday's organizer. Don't tell me this is the one from the second KG-8 incident. The one in which he wrote about the Yatagarasu's key. Yes, this organizer belonged to the prosecutor you had Miss Yu kill 7 years ago.
I have no idea what you are talking about. You say that like it's related to me.
Inside this organizer, he wrote up every detail of every evil thing you did.
What an amusing little girl you are. But that sort of trickery won't work on me.
If you won't believe me, then take a look at this.
And what is that toy there? That's...
This thievery device was used by the Yatagarasu, or rather by my father. 7 years ago, he used this when he snuck into this embassy.
What?
These two pieces of evidence that hold information the Yatagarasu dug up on you. If you go home now, I won't hesitate to send it all to Alabaster right behind you.
Little girl, get to the point.
I want you to go up against Mr. Edgeworth one more time. If you win, then I'll hand over these two pieces of evidence.
Yatagarasu, ever the thorn in my side.
Okay, does that organizer really contain any information on his dirty dealings? It's nothing case-breaking, really. Well, then it was just a bluff. Even if it was, we still can't let all the info my father and Uncle Bad found go to waste. Plus, just the existence of Little Thief is troublesome enough for him. Those two pieces, aren't they keepsakes of your father? It's okay. I believe in Mr. Edgeworth. He'll come out on top in the end. Okay. When the going gets tough, someone's got to be there to put the wind back in your sails. After all this time, you're still quite the feisty one. I applaud your powerful nature. I refuse to lose this too. Ambassador Alba, you won't be returning home until you give us further testimony.
How dare you all, barring a person like me.
Ambassador Alba, your testimony, if you please.
Alright, but this is the absolute last. Then, even if you use all the power of Ambassador Polano's office, you won't stop me.
I can't let this opportunity he has created for me go to waste.
The last time I met with Mr. Cochin was here at the Theatre Neutralis. After that, I was in Alabasta the rest of the time, and as I stated earlier. In any case, I did not see Mr. Cochin again after that. it. So you see, there's no time span in which I could have killed him. Would you agree? Now, since you people were practically begging, I'll allow you to question me. What an arrogant old man. Yes, but no matter. You can't allow the chance to escape us. I will warn you, though, you've reached the end of my patience. Waste my time with any inane questions and you'll be punished.
So we are not allowed to press everything. So any needless pressing or presenting will cost more to our case. In that case, the only thing you can do is present the correct evidence. Understood? Of course. I don't intend to let him intimidate me.
Good for you, Edgeworth. I'm intimidated.
I know Mr. Cochin was killed before he returned to the ball. In which case, there's only one statement to which I need to present the evidence.
Okay. Mr. Cochin was killed before he went to Babal. Okay, that's fine. That's fine too. Okay. So, he killed him before this. Right? Because the thing was missing? And the thing that was missing was like the guitar pick thing, and it looks to be the size of a guitar pick. So he was killed possibly at the open air stage. He was in Alabasta the rest of the time. I did not see Mr. Cochin again after that. There's no time span in which you could have killed him. I'm gonna prove that that's the body. At some point. From the Atrium Neutralis. So that was where he met with him, right? Yes. Met with him at the Theatrum Neutralis. In Alabasta the rest of the time. Did not see Mr. Cochin again after that. Because then he shook hands with the Steel Samurai. After the commemorative photo. I'm so afraid. And also a little bit confused. Time span to kill. The body wasn't badly burnt by the fire because it wasn't there for the fire. Okay. The murder weapon. Okay, let's take it. Okay, so that was. He
didn't see Mr. Cochin again after that because he would have been dead, but he had to bring the body to Babal somehow, right? He was in Alabasta the rest of the time. Here in the edge of Neutralis, in Alabasta the rest of the time, as I stated earlier. What's the timing that we're looking at here? Because you can see him coming in at 5:22. And Manny was not there at 5:25. So he was killed before 5:25. I'm gonna get a little bit of it. Amazing. Diplomats really do know how to craft answers that don't answer anything. So, if the only place he met the victim was at this theater, then when was he killed? We know that Mr. Cochin didn't return to Babal alive. Which means that the only time he could have been killed was when they were both here. And that means that he was planning to kill Mr. Cochin from the start. Okay, so premeditated, that's important. Met here, after that went to Alabast. Not see Mr. Cochin again after that. Again, it's fine. There's no time span in which I could have killed him, wouldn't you agree? I would not agree you killed him in this time span. Based on the security footage?
Objection!
No. I've no interest in listening to such a story. The only story I'm interested in is the glorious one of my shining life. Consider it not. Okay. No time span in which I could have killed him. What about the fire? This was before the Jam Ninja show, which was after the Steel Samurai walked in. You did not see Mr. Cochin after that, neither did we. This is gonna be important for something. When did this happen? This was after the first fire. I don't. There's nothing wrong with this statement. There's nothing wrong with this statement.
There's technically nothing wrong with this statement because he didn't see him again because he killed him.
With his smug little, like, all of his medals shining on his jacket. I'm sure you guys have gotten what I'm supposed to say by now, but I don't. I'm gonna go for... I could also present this because the murder weapon we've never seen. Oh, because I'm proving that he killed him before the photo.
Objection!
Yeah, okay, alright, cool. Took me a while, sorry about that. I'd like to take a look at this photo. It's a rather nice picture, isn't it? It was to commemorate the restoration of relations between our nations. Oh, it's commemorative, alright.
One that captures the proof I need to show that it was you who committed the murder. Come again. This is the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. I see you recognize it, as well you should, for it was you who brought it to the theater. You hid it among the flowers you were to give to the Steel Samurai, meaning that you killed Manny Cochin here at the theater. They always laugh. It's time for me to catch my flight.
Objection!
We're not through yet.
Objection!
It's game over for you, Mr. Edgeworth. But I thank you for the entertainment. No matter how passionately you orate, the end result will still be the same. I will be returning to this country. I won't be returning to this country ever again. That's right. This man is an ambassador, and he has extraterritorial rights. No matter how hard we chase after him, we won't be able to have him tried in court. Yeah, so it's exactly the face you should be making. The face of a worthless cur. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, I must bid you farewell. The chorus. Is there no one who can lay a finger on this man? Is this really the end?
Knuckle back!
Lang, you're back! Agent Lang! Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Prosecutor. Get out of my way. My plane is scheduled to take off soon. Sorry, but you're not going anywhere, Mr. Alba. I'm through playing games with you people. You can't touch me. If you do, it will spark an international incident, Agent Lang. Sorry, but no one. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Good job holding the fort down here until I got back. So, Mr. Alba, your diplomatic immunity has just been revoked. What do you mean, revoked? Spare me this nonsense, and let me through.
Knuckle back!
Langzi says, before aiming for the throat, chew the neck shield off first. Interpol headquarters in the Interpol household of the Kingdom... Interpol headquarters in the Imperial household of the Kingdom of Alabast. Took a while to get things rolling, but they finally moved on it. The Imperial household. What have you done? You have been relieved of your duties as ambassador, Mr. Alba. Ooh. Effective today, effective right now. And you have Mr. Prosecutor's videotape to thank for this. The video the Yatagarasu protected? You can't be arrested simply because you'll be an ambassador. You can't be arrested simply because you're an ambassador. In that case, I thought I'd strip you of that title. You underestimated me, a descendant of the founder of the detainment philosophy, Langzi. 4,000 years of deeply entrenched connections and networks around the world. Have really paid off. Hey, he's all feeble again. It can't be. I don't believe this. My ambassadorship has been revoked. Looks like you're finally coming to grips with your new standing. Woohoo! Looks like he's turned docile again. He's probably in shock from the loss of his shield. What a shame. I had so wanted to use my whip on him. Why is this happening to me? I'm just a hard-working, honest ambassador. Do you really think you can still pull that on us now? We've already ripped away the mask and seen you for who you really are, Mr. Alba.
Objection!
No. I won't be stopped now. He still intends to fight us. So what if I'm no longer an ambassador, or you still don't have any evidence on me? The fact remains that you cannot arrest me. I expect no less from you, the boss of the smuggling ring. Well, the rest is up to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Understood. You say that I killed Mr. Cochin in the theater. But even if it's true, there was a knife in my bouquet. Even if it's true that there was a knife in my bouquet,
I left that bouquet in the theater, so anyone could have taken it out from there and used it, right? Besides, the claim that he was killed here itself is odd. After all, wasn't his body discovered in the ball? Are you claiming that I carried his body all the way over there? Preposterous. I'll be the one to prove whether it's preposterous or not. Ex-Ambassador Alba, are you ready? Because this is no game. This is war. We're still going strong. Part 3. I killed Mr. Cochin in this theater using a knife that was stuck in my bouquet. I left that bouquet in the theater. Anyone could have taken the knife from there. Besides, Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in the ball, right? There's no way for me to have transported his body from the theater to the ball. Can I just present what I have, or should I press it first? I should always press first, right? We've learned this. Look, don't you think you've had enough fun with me? You've already stolen my ambassadorship from me. Would you have me surrender too? Yeah, actually, that would be super easy. You've no plans to ever return to this country, isn't that right? Did you know that a bunch of your subordinates are seeking asylum because of you? As if I care. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, boot this guy out of the embassy and we can finally end everything. I know, and I would give it my all to see that he leaves in handcuffs. Without the title of ambassador, he is just another witness. Yes, just another witness. All right, what are we waiting for? Let's get this guy. And get him good. I wonder if they understand that all I can do is present evidence to the testimony. I'm not going to sock him in the jaw. Alright, so my problem is, of course, the last statement. I'm gonna press it first because we've learned, right? We learned not to just present.
Hold it!
Is that really so? You could have easily blackmailed your subordinates to keep quiet and then move the body.
Objection!
That's quite an insult to me and my subordinates, and I'm afraid we can't have that. Doing his voice is actually making my throat hurt a little bit. It's very difficult to enter my embassy, and the guards always conduct a thorough check. If someone so much as makes an unnatural movement, it will arouse their suspicions. Yeah, but there was one person that got by without any questions. Come to think of it, there wasn't anything unnatural about him in the footage. But the thing that was unnatural was the carts. Mr. Alba said that the guard would become suspicious if someone acted unnaturally, but then, by the same token, the guard would not become suspicious if someone were to act naturally. We retrace Mr. Alba's movements, so we should find some hints to solving this case. Well, right after the Steel Samurai stage show, he went back to Alabast, right? There he started preparing for his speech in the Alabastian embassy. It does sound like it wasn't possible for him to have gone to the Babalese embassy. He couldn't have gone to the ball, but the body didn't remain at the theater either. Is it possible that the body was temporarily taken to a different location first? Yes. Okay. Again, I just pressed it because I didn't want to just present right away.
Objection!
Because we've made that mistake before. Actually, I do believe there was a way to transport the body out of the theater. Perhaps you should give this a look. What is that supposed to be? It's footage from a security camera that captured the state of the immigration area. Should I congratulate you on getting your hands on it? Just letting you know that we're not the only ones watching your every movement. Thank you for the warning. Now, if you could take a good look at this section here. The slump here inside the pushcart. Do you know what's causing it? Should I? Because I don't. In that case, allow me to enlighten you. This is the cause of the unnatural lump under the cloth of the pushcart.
Take that!
What is the meaning of showing me that? It's to say that the unnatural bulge in the pushcart is Mr. Kojin's body. You had the Steel Samurai wheel his body away from the real crime scene. What a guess! But I wonder if you have any evidence to support it. I admit that for now it is but a hypothesis, however. If you can't prove it, then I'm afraid I must be on my way. I don't have any more time to play with you people. Oh, hey! Sorry it took so long, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Sorry, I'm losing my voice from... Okay. Gummy? Detective Gumshoe. Is that the Steel Samurai's pushcart? Yes, sir! I found it in the open-air stage area. So that's where you went. protective spirit that Pops left me with. Wow. I thought I'd follow my gut and go with it, sir. So, Mr. Edgeworth, is this worth anything to the case? Absolutely. Yes, it just might play a major role in solving this case, Detective. But something isn't right. I thought the entire samurai family was in Alabast. Where exactly in the open-air stage area did you find this pushcart? Found it just lying there at the edge of the stage, sir. Oh. Well, let's leave that for now and examine the inside, Detective. Yes, sir! Oh, look, blood. It's blood! This must be Mr. Cochin's blood. Which only goes to prove that Mr. Cochin's body was indeed transported by this pushcart. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cochin at the theater and then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. Oh, I feel really bad for Larry now. He was just pushing a dead body. Yikes. I forced him to move the body into Alabast. What nonsense. Why would I bother to do such a thing? You were scheduled to make a speech in Alabast, meaning it was difficult for you to make a stop in Cabal. However, what if you moved the body to Alabast? Because it was your embassy, you could keep an eye on it and tamper with the evidence. And then you smuggled it out of Alabast. But how did he do that? I'm gonna have to prove that, aren't I? If I can show how you moved the body from Alabast to Cabal, yeah, then I win. But you can't. The security between the two countries is incredibly tight. I'll be the one to judge whether I can or cannot prove it. And so I ask you to provide us with testimony regarding your movements after your return to Alabast. Miles Edgeworth, have you figured it out? Do you know how the body was moved? To be honest, I have nothing to support my hypothesis at this time. However, I don't believe I've made a mistake in my logic up to this point. Which means there's no question that can't be answered, right? The Prima Duck statue was smuggled successfully through the brief flight through the air. So why shouldn't there be an answer to how the body was moved? Which means that there must be a logic flaw somewhere I can exploit. After I returned to Alabast, I had my picture taken with the Steel Samurai shaking hands. Then, just as I was about to start my speech, the Yatagarasu appeared. I feared for the national treasure, so I raced back to my office. Is that all? Yes, that's all.
Objection!
It looks like you left out a few things. Such as the murder of Damask II. Furthermore, you left out the part about meeting with me in your office. Ah, those trifling matters. I don't believe I need to speak of them. Again? He's talking so slowly. I do so hate to waste time. What? Is not every life precious? I do really need to answer that for you. People like you cannot be allowed to wander freely through society. Then you'd better try hard, because I doubt you'll find a single contradiction. He's really full of himself, isn't he? Yes, he is. How can he be so confident at a time like this? Come, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask whatever you'd like. He's got something. Okay, I can ask whatever I like anyway. I can press. I don't have that picture anymore. So why was it only with the Steel Samurai? I thought the Pink Princess was also around. The Pink Princess was suffering from a bad hip at the time, and the doctors recommended that she rest. Wow, so you do have a soft side after all. The pain of a bad hip. I suppose none of you can really understand how that feels. Oh, so you tend to strain your back as well, huh? Isn't that just because you're normally all hunched over? You did need to keep up the act no matter what, I suppose. The point of this is not to discuss my back problems. For about 15 minutes after our handshake, I was in my office preparing for the speech. Then, just as I was about to start the speech, the Yatagarasu appeared, which we already figured out with the statues and all that stuff. The Yatagarasu was just a trick that you had set up. A most amusing joke. And how do you propose that I set it up? If you really want to know, I can explain it in detail for you. We arranged the spotlights in the Rose Garden so that when you were to take the stage, the audience would see the Yatagarasu statue's shadow. Oh, that's an interesting tale. Sadly, it has nothing to do with me. You. What's this going to take for you to fess up to anything? Very well, then. Let's move on to a different question. After the Yatagarasu appeared, what was the state of the Rose Garden? Everyone took refuge inside the embassy. Helped the effort. And then, once everyone was inside, well...
Hold it!
And what happened after you returned to your office? I don't want to keep on repeating this, however... Upon my return, I had the stroke of bad luck and bumped into Master. And I don't want to keep on repeating this either. But his name was Damask II. Who cares what he was called? By the time he got to the prima duck statue that he was supposed to steal, it had already been swapped for the fake. Talk about an unlucky man. Being bludgeoned to death with a fake statue. Miss Von Karma's really letting her whip fly now. Eek. I think the scary part is her silence while she's doing it. She must be at the limit of her patience as well. Physical attacks are meaningless here, and the evidence will suffice. I can't find a single flaw in his argument. At this rate, I won't be able to prove that he is actually guilty of anything. Oh, finished here. Miles Edgeworth, can you not come up with how the body was moved to Babal? Sir? Mr. Edgeworth? Even after proving so much. Is he gonna get away with it? Is this the end? It appears that we made it just in time. It would be a great honor if you would allow us to be your allies in battle. Look at him holding on to the Iron Infant, who is, I think, soaking wet. Was he actually in the water where Larry was swimming? Yikes. Evil Magistrate, it is your time to pay. It is time for you to pay. I had to remember who was speaking there for a second there. It's the Steel Samurai! No, you are mistaken, for I am Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Tokyo. And this is Pink Princess Mommy. Edgy Poo! Oh. It's two people that I wanted to see the least. Larry! What are you two doing here? Way to show your gratitude, Edgy. We just wanted to help, yeesh. I'm gonna get the bad guy with a single thrust of my samurai. Go away. Sorry. It was just like very blunt. Just, yep, go, leave. How can you be so mean to us, Edgy-Poo? All three of us came to lend a hand, and this is how you treat us? Well, isn't that grand? And I see they managed to find the Iron Infant. Does that really matter right now? Hey! Is it just me or is the Iron Infant completely soaked? Oh, yeah. I found him in Babal, but he was in the middle of the pool. Wait a second. Larry, go back to what you just said. Huh? It appears that we made it? Not that far back. Something about finding the Iron Infant in Babal. And you found it in a pool. How did you call the rain wine in Babal? Oh, that! Well, I was in Alabasta the whole time, so I have no idea how the Iron Infant wound up in Babal. I thought I'd lost him in the Rose Garden. But I guess maybe this cute kid can swim, huh? Wait, what? Larry, you lost the Iron Infant in the Rose Garden. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure. But I found him in... That's enough, Larry. Does the water connect? The Iron Infant that Larry lost managed to move between the two countries. Furthermore, the Iron Infant was found soaked in the middle of the pool. This is what I've been looking for. It's another smuggling route between the countries. The key to the route the Iron Infant took to travel from Alabasta to Babal is... Oh, the symmetry. Yeah, okay. That's right. This embassy was built with bilateral symmetry in mind. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? There's a location I wish for you to examine post-haste. It is where I believe the route used to smuggle Mr. Cochin's body lies. Does something like that really exist, sir? It's got to. An embassy built in bilateral symmetry, meaning that this is where they need to examine. Here, because that's where the pool would be, on this side. Because it was from the rose garden to there. Yes, sir, I'll be back before you know it. It's too late. It doesn't matter now what you do. It's a waste of time. You will stay here with us and wait. This is Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, it's here, sir. There's a reservoir here, just like in the rose garden. Just as I suspected. What is it? The two sides of the embassy are mirror images of each other, which means that there's also a pool at the corresponding location on the Babalese side. Mr. Cochin's body was moved into a ball through the pool in Alabast. Avoiding the topic with a vague answer like that is unbecoming of a prosecutor. If you don't mind, I'd like to see more physical proof if you have any. The Iron Infant is positively soaked in water. Why do you think that is? It's because he was fished out of a pool, and not just any pool. It was the Babalese one. I think it's pretty obvious at this point what must be true. The water reservoirs and the courtyards are connected. And where is your proof that the two sides are connected? The proof is right there before your eyes. The half-drowned Iron Infant. This blotted doll! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back. Hey. Don't tell me. You guys figured everything out without me. We did, thanks to this hero of justice's son. Even if he is just a doll, he managed to help foil the villain. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of unlikely that the body just happened to have passed on through to Babal. This guy's a doll, and he's small, so I could believe it made it, but... He has a point. Yes, that's right. I'm glad someone here understands. Mr. Edgeworth, are you going to next propose that a dead body can swim through a pipe? You see, Mr. Prosecutor, a hard chase after this man is far from over. Agent Lang. Why is he helping Mr. Alba out now? He's not. He realized a flaw in my argument and is helping me to move the logic along. In which case, I should return the favor and find an answer. And another thing. Mr. Cochin's body was found in his office in Babal. So what happened to his body after it was transported to the open-air stage? Mr. Alba had an accomplice in Babal, remember? You mean Sheena, right? With her there, you can see how it is possible to move the body up to the office. Are you seriously claiming that she swam through the connecting pipe with the body? He's right. Miss Sheena would drown if she did that. It's hard to imagine that she swam through the connecting pipe. Looks like your hypothesis about how the body was moved is still only half-baked. In the end, it's all just the befuddled musings of an accusatory man. Is that why the fires were set? To, like, empty the reservoir? But it does refill. But it takes a while to refill, right? Now then, I believe you should give up and allow me passage. Because from the start there was no feasible method of transporting the body. What? Mr. Prosecutor, recall Sheena's movements. What was happening in the embassy around the time Miss Sheena was in Babal? The fires! The fires! Oh, if only there was a way to get rid of the water in the pool. Yes! Thank you! Get rid of the water. Aha, that's it. Now I believe this time is we really are done, right?
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, it's far from over, Mr. Alba. You are a most persistent man. Are you saying that you've thought of a way to move the body through the water? Move the body through the water? That's completely unrelated to how it was done. Excuse me. The reason I say that is because there wasn't any water there at the time. What do you mean there wasn't any water? Just what it sounds like. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. Fires!
Take that!
Tonight, the Yatagarasu set fire to a variety of locations on the Babalese embassy. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could be used to traverse the border.
Objection!
So what? The water level went down. The reservoirs were connected. Does any of this matter? You can't prove any of this. Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now. Even in a game, there comes a critical game-changing moment. A moment in which you hit a wall that you must overcome in order to beat the game. Like this part right here, where he is the wall. And we must overcome him. I haven't lost yet. I found the route you used to smuggle the body, and that route will lead to your defeat.
Knuckle back!
Even if the water was used by the firefighting effort, you still can't really call that a smuggling route. I know that. I should have figured that you would notice. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are those pools anyway? You know those pools are extremely deep. And there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either. It would be difficult for Sheena to hold the body and climb up out of the pool. Ladders or footholds along the walls? There was no need for such things, because it would refill on its own. What do you mean? If one were to use a certain something, they could go up or down the pool at will. Looks like you got an answer already. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Enlighten us already. The way in which Machina and the body were able to rise up to ground level. If there was a way to control the water level, that would be the way the body was moved.
Take that!
Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a matter of speaking. He used the fountain spouts? How so? The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Machina and the body were lifted upward by their buoyancy in water. The fire on the Babalese side and the firefighting effort. These were set in motion all for the sake of smuggling Mr. Cochin's body. That is an elaborate way to smuggle a body across the border. Oh my gosh! All of those fires and everything was just for that? Here, I thought they were just trying to burn the currency and it just went a little bit out of whack. Shall I show you where the final destination of my train of logic leads? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spout in advance in preparation for things to come. Then he took the push cart that was brought to the rose garden and pushed it along with the iron entrance and Mr. Cochin's body into the pool. At this time, Machina was busy conveniently starting the first fire in the ball. She then made for the open-air stage pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in that pool, the water level went down. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed. This is when she pushed the pushcart from Alabast into the ball, and once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. And the water level rose to its original level, along with Machina and the body. After that, Machina used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There's an elevator in the embassy, after all, so you see, even with a small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved. Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, what do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterritorial rights to protect you, are you? I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back.
Objection!
You accuse me of moving the body across country lines. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me. The nitty-gritty? What does the old man want now? Proof, I believe, is what he seeks. Yes, proof. Without any, who is to say whether or not any of what you said really happened? He wants proof? What are we going to do, Mr. Edgeworth? There's no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along. The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pool's connecting pipe tonight. Just as Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open air stage area, so too did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route. Finally! After all this time!
Take that!
I get to present the pick! And what exactly is this? You have no idea, do you? This little piece that I found in the Babalese side will be our undoing. A guitar pick. Would you care to explain how that is going to do me in, as it were? Much to your chagrin, perhaps, but this is not a guitar pick. What? This is something I found at the open-air stage, which was transported with the body. I naturally assumed that you would recognize it since you took a photo with it, after all. But since you don't allow me to fill you in on what I found, the stage actually belongs to.
Take that!
Let us take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin. On the handle of this knife, there's a beautifully blooming flower. However, it would appear that it's missing a single petal. Now let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick into that open slot. It's a perfect fit! I assume that the petal must have fallen off when the flower during Mr. Cochin's murder, and then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body. I thought it's an interesting story, nothing more.
Objection!
Oh, I assure you, it's more than just a story, because for some odd reason, this flower petal was wet when I found it. It was wet, you say? Yes, and the only place it could have gotten wet from was the open-air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how did a part of the weapon, which was smuggled to the theater, wind up in the open-air stage area in Babalee's side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any more words explaining this, as this petal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Garden's pool, on through into a ball. Impossible! People of Zenfa have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. I'll tell everyone back home we'll be there soon. You should be happy. This... why? Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning. When you took your first life. No matter how you may plot or how you may try to cover it all up, you can never hide from your crime and what you've done. Because we're here to see to it that justice is served to people like you.
Objection!
You can't call what you've given a perfect argument. You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with, or people who refuse to admit when they've lost, I don't believe those kinds of people really exist because everyone breaks eventually. I don't believe those kinds of people really exist, because everyone breaks eventually. You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. I'll use it all until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. We're still going, guys. This really will be the end of the line. You've said that so many times, though. You said it was over so many times. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I knew that there was another part after this, so I was very confused whenever it kept going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Anyway, looks like we are at the end. So it cut off in the middle of the action, so we're going to find out next time what happens as we follow through and finish up. Maybe next part will be shorter, because, what could there possibly be left? We've said that it was the last testimony like 1,000,000 times. He is stubborn. It is going on forever. Which I think is going to be part of my critique at the end of this, episode, or at the end of this case, just like, it just keeps going. That and all the
like politics involved. But I'll get to all that. I'll get to the wrap up, so to speak, of my feelings towards this particular case. But in the meantime, I will put out the next part in a couple days and talk to you guys then. See ya.